All right, good evening everybody. Tonight I want to walk you through how to set up the app that comes with your EG4 6500 inverters. So let's get started. So if you've seen any of my previous videos regarding Solar Assistant, you'll know that I'm not really a big fan of the WatchPower app that comes with the EG4 6500 inverters. I know it's just the generic app that comes with it, but I've seen quite a few people get confused and frustrated in trying to set it all up. And I'll admit, even when I first went and tried to set it up myself on my original inverters, I had a whole lot of problems. And so tonight we'll go through the manual step by step and try and set up the WatchPower app for one of these inverters. And then I'll also show you an alternative online app that you can use, which might give you a little bit more information than the actual WatchPower app does. Okay, so I have opened up the user manual for the EG4 6500 inverters. You can see at the top, it's directly from Signature Solar. It is the most up-to-date version that I am aware of from December 2022, version 2.3.0. I wanted to make sure that I had the most up-to-date version to make sure that we could easily follow, hopefully, all the steps in this manual to get WatchPower set up as smooth as possible. And I'm going to try and do everything on this tablet. I'll even do a split screen side by side if I need to in order to get everything displayed next to the manual. So we're going to go to the table of contents, and you can see appendix number 2, that's page number 65, for the Wi-Fi operation guide. That might be a little confusing. If you're looking for the specific app, you have to go to the Wi-Fi operation guide section. So it's going to be page 65, appendix 2. So we're going to fast forward all the way to page 65. I'm not going to go through and read all of this stuff. It gives you an introduction. It tells you the major functions of the app itself, and then where to download it. And so what I'm going to do is, since I'm on an Apple tablet, I am going to go open up the App Store and start downloading that app. So all I did was I opened up the App Store, I hit the search button in the bottom corner, and just typed in WatchPower. You can see it in the filter on top. And I've downloaded it in the past from my previous units and set it all up, but I have not set it up for these new ones. So we will download the WatchPower app. It's a fairly small file. There's not a whole lot of data to it. As you can see right there, it's already done. Okay, so we downloaded our app. We've got our initial setup. After the installation, press the icon to open the app. We've got that there. In the screen, tap Register to access the user registration page. Fill all the required information in, and scan the remote box PN by tapping the scanning icon, or you can simply enter the PN directly, then tap Register. Alright, so we're going to go back to the app. So if you've already set this app up at one point in time before, you'll enter your username and password at the top. I am actually going to do this with a new account so that I can walk you guys through everything from the beginning. So we'll go to Register. You need to create a username, enter your password, enter your email. Hopefully I got that right. I don't care about a phone number. I don't know if it's required or not. Okay, so this Wi-Fi Module PN, I'm assuming it's a PIN number. Now, in the manual, it does not tell you anywhere where this actually is. And this frustrated me to no end. I had to actually go to the forums to try to figure out exactly where this PIN is supposed to be. And I searched through the forums, and finally I found somebody mentioning that it is on the bottom of the display. So you've got your units here, your displays. The actual Wi-Fi pin is right here next to your computer connection on the bottom of this display. So you can either try and scan this barcode right here, or you can manually type in this pin. And this pin is specific to your unit, so you want to make sure that you're not sharing that out. And of course, if you back out at all, you lose everything that you just typed in. And I didn't have any luck with this scan button. It's just easier just to type it all in. Once you've got it in there, register. And of course, because they love stealing your information, they want to know what your phone number is. All right, so it registered my account with this device. So we're gonna log in, and it gives you a little hint that the plus icon in the top right is where you can add additional devices. So this is the screen that you're gonna see once you go to log in. So if I log out, so it saves all your information, which is nice, and so I can hit log in here. This is the page that you're gonna see. So we've associated this one inverter to my account. So let's switch back to the manual. So we did step one, we registered the first time, we pressed the register button, we got the registration success. Now we have to configure the Wi-Fi connection on the inverter itself. We're gonna go to the Wi-Fi config page and then follow the steps to how to connect. Do I have to be logged in to do this? Apparently I need to be back on the main page, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Wi-Fi config. I don't care if it knows my location. All right, so we need to connect to the same Wi-Fi as the Wi-Fi pin, and looking at the manual, you can see the password. The default password is 12345678. 12345678. Join. Then you return to the WatchPower app and then confirm connected Wi-Fi module. So WatchPower, Wi-Fi config. So apparently it has to have the location. And this is what I was talking about, it being frustrating trying to get this set up. Because it wants your location, and so you allow it, and then it still says you're not connected, when I obviously am connected to the device. So we turn our Wi-Fi off, turn it back on. Try to connect again. We can see the icon on the top right. It is connected. Connect. Phone is not connected. Kill the app. Reopen the app. Try to connect again. Still nothing. Okay, so when it asks you if you want to allow location services, it seems like you need to have it ask you. So let's back out to this again. So in my privacy and security, location services, if you did what I did and you ended up denying the location services, find WatchPower and then check ask next time or when I share. Let's see if we can do this without the precise location. We switch to the app, Wi-Fi config, allow while using app. Now you can see currently connected Wi-Fi, connected Wi-Fi module. Now confirm. That let us in. Okay, so now, good, we can switch back and forth and not lose our spot. So step number 3, set up the Wi-Fi settings. So you're going to set up your router and your password to connect your inverter to your wireless router. So you can hit the Wi-Fi icon and it will scan for all available wireless networks. You pick the one that you want it to connect to, enter your password and setting, and it should try and connect the Wi-Fi. Tap confirm, complete the Wi-Fi configuration between the Wi-Fi module and the internet. If the connection fails, please repeat steps 2 and 3. So what this is saying is, if you look in this first image under step 4, you're connected to your Wi-Fi module, and then once you get a successful connection, if you look underneath, it should say currently connected to your Wi-Fi, and then in this picture is vo-vo-vo-guest. So let's switch back, and it kicked me out again. Great. So we got to reconnect to the module again. Can you see at the top it says Wi-Fi config, currently connected Wi-Fi, and it's not giving me a name, so nothing's connected. See, we're connected to that Wi-Fi network, but it's not showing anything here. Let's see if it actually shows us online, even though we didn't finish all the steps. Oh wait, I'm not on the real network. So we didn't even finish all the steps, and apparently it did connect, so it didn't even display that it was a successful connection. But here we are, we now have a successful connection to our inverter. And then they have some additional steps for diagnosing if it will not connect. Say the big things that I would say: unfortunately, you have to allow the location services, which it does not mention in here. And you also want to make sure that when you're connecting, as you can see in these images here, it says currently connected Wi-Fi, and then underneath it has the Wi-Fi SSID that you're connected to. Before you can get past step 2, it needs to show that you're actually connected to the Wi-Fi network for that specific inverter. And then again, you might enter your successful credentials, but it might not show that you're connected. It might not even get to this Wi-Fi configuration, a successful step. You just have to retry, apparently. Kind of janky. I know when I did my first set of inverters, I had to use this diagnose and re-diagnose over and over and over again. So back to the app, if we log in, I'm not going to do this for both of the inverters, I'm just going to do it for the one. You step into the app and then you can see your basic information. We have in the top section, top left hand corner, 121.9 volts coming from the grid, 60 hertz. On the right is our load, 4%, and in the bottom right it says we are at 57% battery capacity, which I know already is completely incorrect because they are basing that percentage based on the voltage. My batteries are probably closer to 40% state of charge. So unless you have battery communication set up, you're more than likely not going to have an accurate state of charge. Your voltage should be accurate, but not an accurate state of charge. So you could scroll down, you can see all the information about your specific inverter. You can switch and you can see the specific type. You see your firmware, which is nice. You can see your display firmware, related information. Again, your 120 volts. A lot of basic information. You can click the bell on the top corner and see if there's any current alarms for your device. You can actually look at the alarm history, which I'll admit that is kind of nice. And if you want to change any settings on your inverter, this top right button with the pencil, oh, that's just your alias. Okay. So you can, set this to inverter 2. Confirm. So now we have that set. Trying to figure out where I've got an overview, which it shows that I have an alarm, and yet I don't have an alarm. So total. So no alarms, and yet it tells me that I have an alarm. So yeah, you've got your overview tab. It'll show you information about your environment as a whole. You can, let's see here, you can hit the plus sign to add a device. You can swipe to the left to delete a device. Oh, see, so here, down here it tells you where the PIN number is. I don't remember seeing that in the original manual, because I got version 1.0. So it's good to see that they added this. It's just unfortunate that it's way down here instead of up here where you're actually setting up the device. So again, you can see this picture in the middle. This sticker down here on the bottom of your display is where your part number is going to be. Okay, so PN is part number. Nope, and I just lost where I was. There we go. So yeah, you can add a device through, once you have your account already created, and you can go to the My Info area, change your password and that kind of stuff. You've got your device list, and this walks you through what the different icons are for, how to change your name, users can check by swiping left. There are 3 ways to modify settings. So let's see here, parameter settings. So we log in, inverter 2. Oh, so I didn't go far enough. You can't see it. So here, basic information, you can see product information. Product information, you see that there's something to the right. Rated information, it doesn't look like there's anything else to the right, but you gotta swipe past. And then there's history and parameter settings. So you can go through, I'm not gonna go through all these different settings, but this list here will help you change settings in the event that you really don't want to scroll through your individual options on your inverter, or you're not there. And then you can see your actual Wi-Fi status. Is that it? Yes, that's it. So make sure you scroll further to the left to get to parameter settings. And let's see. And then in the manual, they've got their a full parameter list of what each option is and a summary of what each option's for. So that's just a down and dirty, I guess, walkthrough of setting up WatchPower, setting up the app or Wi-Fi that comes with the inverters. You'll have to excuse the noise. It sounds like load is starting to ramp up. It's 7:30, so it's probably dinner ramping up. But a couple of tips. The first one is that part number, or PN, which isn't referenced. You actually have to scroll further down in the manual to page... In the latest manual, it's page 69. That shows you a screenshot of where the part number is so that you can connect your inverters to the wireless. The wireless connection is finicky. So I'm going to tell you right now, you probably are going to have to retry it several times. And again, you want to see that Wi-Fi name at the top of that screen before you hit Wi-Fi connection established. Otherwise, it's just going to give you that error saying that it's not going to work. Unfortunately, it seems like you're going to have a phone number in there, which, like you saw, I just put in garbage. And then you have to have some kind of location services enabled in order to allow that Wi-Fi connection, which again, I don't like. I'm probably going to disable it as soon as I'm done. But for those of you that want to just use the integrated app that comes with these inverters, it's not going to give you a whole lot of real-time information. The one thing that I do like about this is the access to the logs, because it will let you have easy viewing ability into the logs. But as you even saw on my screen, it was showing that I had an alarm. But when I went to view the details of the logs, there are no alarms. So you kind of have to take those warnings with a grain of salt. Oh, one other thing. Jumping back to the tablet here real quick. Like I said, I found what that part number was by searching the forums. And there was not a lot of love on the forums for WatchPower. A lot of people talked about Solar Assistant, but then I saw a few references to desmonitor.com. And apparently you can use the login information that you set up for your inverters to log directly into this DES monitor. And I don't really know how it works. I'm assuming the desmonitor.com is either the default server that all the information runs through anyways, or it somehow has access to the information that comes off the inverters, which is scary. But if we jump over to desmonitor.com and log in, and they have this high quality bot tool to prevent bots from accessing the site. So now you can see, here's the information directly from my inverter too. And we can see the device information. I'm assuming that a lot of this data chart isn't visible just because I just hooked it all up. Honestly, this is the first time that I've used this DES monitor site, so I don't really know how well it works. Obviously, some people were talking about it on the forums, so it might work better than the actual WatchPower app. Let's see here, parameter analysis. I mean, it seems to give you more features. But again, I don't have any actual data for it to work off of. Control. Okay, so it doesn't preload the current values. You have to tap each icon. I mean, not the end of the world, but let's see here. So, I mean, this seems to give you, well, let's jump over to the WatchPower app, log back in, and remember, we got to swipe to the left, parameter settings. So it seems like everything that you can do in the WatchPower app, you can do in this desmonitor.com. And I'm assuming this is fairly generic for the Voltronic units, and that some of these options probably don't apply to the 6500s. I was kind of hoping I could change these LED colors. That would have been slick if I could customize that a little bit more. Apparently not. Now this would be slick. I don't know if this firmware update actually works or not. If it does, this would be huge for those people that can't or don't have access to a Windows machine. I might have to look into this the next time I have a firmware update. Upload only bin or hex files. If any of you are familiar with this Desmonitor tool, please let me know if this firmware upgrade section actually works, if you've used it before. Because, like I said, that would be huge for those people that don't have access to Windows machines. I know I had to pull out an old Windows laptop just to be able to update these firmware for these units. From the actual data standpoint, I know I'm not really thrilled with WatchPower. The data that they display is not real time at all. All right, so looking over here, we can see it says we have a 6% load with 390, yeah, hi, 390 watts output. So if we come over here to the inverter, so we are a 6% output. We're at 396 watts here. And you can see that changing 95, 99, 93. And this actually shows 383 now. But it does not reflect real time, the actual changes. 267, 262, 278, and over here we are still on 383. The other thing is there's no real refresh time on here to let you know when the data is going to refresh. So you don't know at what time it was 383 watts. Well, I saw a little spinner icon right here just a second ago, seeing if I actually touched something and made it refresh. Nope. And then if we jump back over to Desmonitor, it still says 383. I mean, it's kind of flashy, but let's see, real-time parameters. So it does let you pick what your real-time parameters are going to be. Okay, and that's what shows up here. Only 5 parameters can be checked. But only 1 is showing. Oh, nope, it disappeared. Yeah, so like I said, I haven't used this before. If you have, let us know how you like it. Again, it's free. It seems to be using the data that's already sent to WatchPower, so you know, you don't have to fork out the money for Solar Assistant. But if you're like me and you like to see the real-time information, I mean, honestly, I end up having a real-time graph of solar assistant open up on my desktop all day at work, just so that I could see what's going on. But we'll see how this goes. We'll let it run for a little while and see if it actually accumulates any decent data. But ultimately, I'm probably going to end up just deleting it. I only did this for your guys' benefit, just to walk through a little bit of it. So my next video should hopefully be if I can figure out a decent way to side-by-side comparison between WatchPower and Solar Assistant. Unfortunately, it seems like WatchPower won't allow me to do that side-by-side screen, so I gotta see if I can figure out a decent way to do that so that we can have everything on the same screen. Because I hate doing this camera looking at a display thing. It just doesn't look good. So, alright, with that, I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all stay safe, stay warm, and we'll catch up with you later.